got Chimera.
Mm.
We had Android on Windows.
Mm.
We're live now.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to the
Welcome to DevKami
152
number
episode.
152.
Yeah.
Boo. Okay.
Uh,
There's a
yep.
reason for that.
Say your name, please.
So my name is Suming.
I am Tristan.
And I'm Chilim.
Yes.
So,
I bought a
what does
guitar.
boo means?
No, actually it's Halloween. It's not a Malaysian holiday, but that being said, it's actually an internet celebration.
I heard it's a long weekend in Philippines. What's the occasion?
It's
It's
All Saints.
All Souls Day, All Saints Day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's where everyone goes to the cemetery to visit
Uh,
the dead people.
It's the Christian version of Qingbin.
Mm, probably, I don't know. So because 31st is the All Hallows Eve, right? That one is
Yeah.
not really celebrated except for the Western one, but that does have its roots to where people like souls are there. It's the 1st of November, and the 2nd of November is just like okay, just an extra day as well. So
is that
I think the government just makes it so that if it falls on like weekends, they just like extend it to the Friday or the Monday or something like that. So it's just easier for people.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not celebrating it except my office do. Super Hens actually does Halloween and apparently we go crazy
is
over
that the one that? Sorry for being ignorant. Is that the one that is the same with the Coco, the Disney animation? Is that the All Souls Day?
No, that's different. No, that's
slightly different. Yeah, slightly different. Hold on, I need to put this in separate. Yeah, I might take it. And give me a moment. I need to get rid of my distraction because I've been
Oh,
distracting.
I guess we can bring up the calendar if there's ever something that's
Yeah. Let's
happening.
look. I will share the calendar now. I'm so sorry. Let me open up my new windows and all that so that it be better. Then, as usual, I didn't finish the script yet because I got distracted yet again. Believe it or not.
Mm.
This time I got distracted with the guitar instead of an IoT device.
Have fun.
Mm.
Yes.
Have fun bleeding.
Mm. Is it electric or an acoustic with a pickup?
It's an electric guitar.
Mm. We're still at 146. What's happening to our
Yeah,
to
Hey,
the
I didn't
stuff
Sivik,
update
what?
it.
episodes?
You fail at your
Yes.
job.
Yes, I got distracted. I'm not paid for this, y'all. I'm not paid for this.
Yeah, none of
So
us
by the
are.
way, we do have event next week. There's a DevOps meetup right soon, or was it past
But
already?
why
No,
the?
DevOps is taking a break until next year.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So there's a recent one recently which
yeah,
we
it was
didn't know until last minute.
pretty. Uh, I'm surprised that also like just like uh, the Kevin did a really great job lah maintaining it, and
Yeah,
some of the
precisely.
contents that are really good. Even though I
Yeah,
didn't attend.
it's one of the more regular meetups that are happening.
Correct.
But I understand that because it's already the Christmas season, so November, December,
Yep,
it's quite difficult to
yep.
find
Yeah.
Even back
people
then,
and
like
get people there.
even the Golang one, we stopped the. I mean, we stopped for November and December as well because most people will be not going to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to. Well, do we have anything happening for the next year? I have no idea
No,
actually.
no, not really.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, we are having Ruby Tuesday still. So that's
Yep.
that's always happening.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's I
Apparently
thought that
Rust
was
is
like 10.
happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's happening.
Sean is gonna speak.
Yep.
Yeah, might be interesting. I think I'm not sure, Swimming, if you're putting this on the buzz corner, but Next.js 12 is using Rust for its compiler. It's supposed to be a
Okay.
JavaScript, so it's a JavaScript framework, but it's
Mhm.
using Rust to do the compilation. So that might
Sh-
be
uh,
interesting.
Put the link on the chat so that I can add
Yeah,
everything so
it's
that we
there.
can
It's
have a
already
look.
there.
Okay. I lost a lot of stuff. Give me a moment. Again as I say, I messed up with my. I got too distracted. It's my fault. That's on me.
What's the first one? We can talk about the first one while you're
So the
loading
first
the
one
next.
on my list is actually the decreasing fees for subscription. This is for Google.
Google.
Google actually changing the fees for their
Mhm.
applications. Still probably won't address the main issues of privacy and all that, but
Oh, I don't think a
it's
service
better.
fee is related to privacy.
No. It's just another way to appease developers. Put it this way.
Oh yeah, well I understand if you want to be on the Play Store, then
Yeah,
yes, there's a fee, right? I don't
yeah,
mind
correct,
that, and I that's why I prefer being on Android because, like for example, I just bought a Huawei MatePad 10.4. That does not have a Play Store, but I am
correct.
still able to install apps because, like yeah, you have your Aptoid, you have APK Pure, you have all of the other ways to install applications. Of course, the
Yes,
thing that you're that the downside there is that you don't have the Google Play protection, whatever. Like they actually scan
correct,
things. I have to do like extra work to confirm that these APKs are actually are okay, like are good. So you
correct,
have to like hashes
correct.
it or whatever, or signing or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah, if people are using the Play Store, then yeah, they pay for it. They pay for it. If they're not using the Play
mm,
Store, then they don't mind, which is good for
correct.
Android. The problem with iOS and the problem with all of the news that's happening,
Yeah,
uh, like with Apple ecosystem, is that it's closed. You can't easily sideload or install applications that's outside of the iOS App Store, and
correct.
that is the problem because now it's basically a monopoly, or I guess it monopoly does not apply here, but it's abuse of market
Well,
share or something like that.
put it this way, there's two side of a story of a monopoly. One of the good thing that is true is by having a monopoly means business can only focus on their own product, do their thing, and keep communication internal. But as history have seen, some of the big business like Chase of funding Chase Bank, then some early robber baron. It's called robber baron for a reason. The main reason is during in the early 1800s, they owned the railroads, but unfortunately, they also reduced the fees of their own cargo, and the
Mm.
cargo and those cargo are the thing that they develop, right? So as a result, it's not a fair advantage to people buying other product. Uh, sure, Apple may give you protection and whatnot, and give you tight integration. The catch is that we do not know what would they do. Actually, it really happened. There's already limit of the type of app that you can build on the iOS ecosystem.
Yep.
That already happened, but it's not as bad as what happened at the robber baron era or Microsoft era for that matter, right?
And
So, uh-huh,
yeah, no, this is also one of the reasons why Google focused a lot on making Chrome a viable application like platform. Like you have all of
correct.
these Chrome apps. They're pushing a lot for standards for the web to
Yeah,
do a lot of like they improve the JavaScript performance. They have a lot of like
yes,
um, what they call this APIs to access the file
yeah,
system, for example. That's why VS Code.dev works only on Chrome because Chrome is pushing that one. The rest are like
correct,
still checking whether they can do the API file system or whether it's safe to do that because
correct.
the web is a lot more open platform than all of these
Yes,
app stores, and
correct.
they want to break into. If Apple like has a browser and then they have Chrome and then they can do that, then
Yep,
of course then now they have another entry into that closed ecosystem, right?
correct. Okay, final thing about segue into the monopoly thing. So one of the reason Microsoft got sued in the 1990s is because they bundled Internet Explorer. So what happened is Netscape had a business plan to actually sell browser.
Mhm.
Uh, but unfortunately, those days shareware, but they give it shareware because they do plan to sell extra stuff. But the catch is, as a result, nobody actually had a strong idea how to monetize this, which is good or bad. You see, this is actually a good case of good or bad. So the good thing is, the internet is accessible to everyone with a computer. The bad thing is now we don't have a good way to monetize a browser and whatnot. So which leads
Uh,
to open.
Opera
Yeah.
is
So
trying, Brave is
yeah,
trying.
correct. Then of course we also had content and all that, because a lot of things that happen in Google is because they had to get money from doing ads, and the reason they're doing ads because we don't have a good way to pay for internet provider in the 90s. All right, so let's move on quickly before I go too far into the segue. Actually, this week is about segue. I'm so sorry. This week is about segues actually. Next one, Next.js actually had a Rust compiler, yay. React 18 support, yay. AVIF support, very awesome. ISR fallback for crawlers, meh. So if you need it, we need it. ES module support, which is awesome. Then URL imports. This is interesting and scary, but I wonder what's the catch.
Of what? URL imports? It's
Yeah,
because so it's basically putting your JavaScript libraries on the CDN and then just
yeah.
like importing it
Yeah.
directly. Because before you have
Practice.
to, yeah,
Uh-huh.
before you have to like import it, not through a URL, but you actually have to have the
Yeah.
file in there.
It's just a more organized form of source tag in HTML.
So the AVIF one is interesting because
Yeah.
Next.js, if you didn't know, is a static site generator. And so what
Correct.
happens is if you use this,
Yep.
even if you had a JPEG or PNG or something, you can actually just like, transform it on the fly.
Oh,
So
actually,
it automatically optimizes the thing, everything.
cool. Actually, you just remind me one question I want to ask long time back. Why Next.js generates so many things? Now that you tell me that it's a static site generator, then everything just makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because I have to deploy a Next.js app in my day job, and unfortunately, it got weird. Like it got weird that why it had to compile into a static right now. Now you tell me it's a static site generator, then everything just makes sense.
Yeah. So you're right in JavaScript because everything is like on the client side, right? It's
Mhm.
so what it does, it renders the HTML and then renders the application on top of it. So you have a structure. So everything already loads. It's great for SEO, and then JavaScript starts like manipulating it. So it's like a dead body, and then you inject JavaScript so that it can move.
Okay,
It's
so
alive.
Dr.
So that's how
Frankenstein.
it
So
works. Yeah.
yeah,
Which is actually
Yes,
great
maybe
because that means there's actual HTML that's being shown. It's not like
Yeah.
some of these applications where it's all you have is an empty body, HTML body, and then you have
Yeah.
just JavaScript. You just load the whole JavaScript, and then you
Correct.
view the page source. It's empty.
All right. So Next.js, I'm looking forward to it simply because I have to use it. So I'm looking forward to
there-
it because I have to update it soon. But
Yeah, there was a question on one of the like developer forums on Facebook. I mentioned that we are sticking with Next.js 11, the version previous this for the next
Yeah.
few months, just
Yeah.
for pragmatism because we're new to Next.js and this is a completely new tooling, right? And then there's
Yeah.
a lot of updates as well, and so all of the resources online are still on the old stuff. And so
Yeah.
whatever bugs that we might face, we don't know if it's because we just don't know what we're doing or because it's a
Yeah.
natural bug on the platform. So
Correct.
I don't know if you want to, if you are going to be using Next.js, probably go until 11 first, until
Yeah.
for the next 6 months, until you get your point releases. This is a 0.0 release.
Yeah.
Of course, pragmatically speaking, you don't really want to trust a 0.0 release that
Yeah,
early.
true.
You don't want to be a beta tester, basically.
Correct.
So,
Also, I mean, I have to think about that and all that. So it's a while before I do decide. So this one is somewhat interesting because Intel is trying to pick up on their processor design. Unfortunately, I don't. They have some very interesting idea. They have a thing called performance cores and efficiency cores, like the Apple processors.
Samsung had the big little architecture.
Correct.
The Exynos ones.
Is this the one that comes with the FPGA?
No, I don't think so. This is
Yeah.
this is all x86, I think. I think it's AMD that wants to do the FPGA. Although this is talking about desktop chips, though, so this is not as exciting as laptop chips. So
Yeah.
there's not a lot of sense of at least for me, of buying this. Like I'm not
Yep, not
upgrading
now.
my 11 gen right now, right?
Correct.
But I
Correct.
am looking forward to 12 gen laptops because
Yep.
I had an M1. I sold it already to a friend because I'm
Yep.
not really using it that much.
Yep.
Stuck with ARM is not like you basically you're in the macOS platform. Docker images, most of them
Yep.
are in x86. It's not. It's you need to have uh, the the ARM versions just so that it's more efficient and all of these things. So
Correct.
I'm looking
Correct.
forward to an efficient laptop similar to an M1 but still running on x86 and the 12th
Yeah.
gen with this power and e-cores combination would be interesting.
Correct. So, well, in this case, the laptop, the x86 can catch up, and to me, it's a good thing simply because I don't think I want to switch to another platform yet. Uh, it probably is good. It probably is good, but it's just not my thing. Also, I like my Linux machine, so hands off. Hands off. Don't you dare to touch my Linux machine. But I'm looking forward to the new development. This is actually very cool. Let's
Yeah, well, yeah,
see.
Linux is fine, but Windows is also good so far right now. I mean,
I'm using Windows. I'm using both, and I like both. I like Linux more. I'm trying to find the news because, okay, this is one. Bad security. Okay, we go. This one is we complain as a Malaysian. Um, Sejahtera got hacked. Actually, not got hacked. It's like the endpoint is not
got
secure.
exploited. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
hacked.
correct,
There was an exploit that was found.
correct. So yeah,
That allows you to send OTP to anyone else as long as you have their number. So basically, they don't check where the request is coming from.
Oh, shit.
Swimming side, I think you have a very bad
Yeah, buzzing.
static.
Apparently, I was talking with my mic off, but I mean, people. Okay, I'll let.
I think you have to mute yourself first, Swimming, and then fix it. Mute yourself
There's
on.
some static. Static. We cannot hear you now. It's just static. It's just static. It's just static for us swimming.
Yeah, so mute yourself because it's really noisy. Yeah, there you go.
I can mute.
Yeah.
I can mute.
Yeah, Chilong, you were saying you.
I know.
you
I
were
mean,
off.
people were making a big deal about it, like, is a hack or what? Come on, it's just the mistake that my suggestor made was just that they didn't rate limit it.
yeah.
But
So
what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They didn't rate limited, and they didn't check the origin, like whether it's
Yeah,
actually
correct.
from an
I
app
mean,
or something.
that's the mistake they made. Is I bet that most people, even those that laugh at them, they didn't actually rate limit their own service.
correct.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Like
uh,
see, I don't even rate limit some of my services.
yeah, in fact, in development mode, that is not the first thing I do, to be honest. And unfortunately, when in development mode, those things tends to stick lah. So it happens to even to best of us. This is more interesting and not actually news. This is actually a site that actually run Fuchsia on. This is actually on Canoe, I believe. I believe this is on Canoe. La la la.
Is it out yet?
It's actually on Apple's product, and the source code is available. Actually, it's available. And
It's what can I see? This is actually an escape to the GPL courses.
Yeah, correct. It is, unfortunately,
because they are rewriting everything into a permissive license.
Correct.
Not a free license.
So this one is you can't run on Windows. You can go and run on Linux, or if you're on a Mac, you can use Rosetta. It apparently works. It's doable. It exists apparently, and you can run on emulator. So one thing that this article actually do is that actually runs. You see here they actually boot up, and you can actually SSH to it and do your thing. But if you use on the one of the Nest product, Google Nest product, I think they hide a lot of stuff and a lot of customization. But it's there. Like, you want to try, you can do it, and apparently it's possible for you to run Dart on this.
It is written on Dart. I mean,
the UI scripting and the UI script is it a correct word? The UI The
UI
scripting lah, just
environment
yeah.
is on.
Yeah,
it's
but
using
based on
those.
Flutter, the Flutter
Yeah,
stuff.
correct. But I don't think you the show lah example. It's just that what's interesting to me for this is that you can run this and that's it lah. Install, you open close that. So yeah, it's on the DevKami site, so it's there if you're interested. Not DevKami site, it's on the last corner on Engineers Month. I didn't update this yet. Facebook paper meh, ethical meh. Okay, I think you know what? This is the last one. Okay, there's a few news like on okay, let's show this one, then I'm going to cover what I've been covering. Adobe product now is runnable on your browser, so Adobe Max. So you can use your browser to do your work, so which is a good thing.
Speaking of, we were talking about the monopoly in the beginning.
Correct. And also it makes sense because not everyone going to get a latest machine and all that. So yeah, this is a great idea, right? So open to more people unless somebody decide to crypto the browser, which actually happened on Windows long time back. But it is.
I like the idea of being liberated from the OS.
Yeah, correct. Even though I like to make joke that a browser is essentially Emacs of the 21st century, but that's just a joke of mine. It's a great idea, to be honest. Then okay, so finally, what I don't cover is there is a court in Texas that says that Google is, I won't say colluding, it's more like working with another organization. Colluding means there's a criminal element, and so this one is more like they want to actually create crypto child protection feature. So which is that. But what we're going to do, we're going to change your search engine. So yeah. I think that's about it. I didn't cover another thing. Actually, there's quite a lot of news, that random news and all that. Platform war, I didn't cover that. Security, I don't cover that. Yeah, I think that's about it actually. There's not much other news. So yeah, let's stop sharing. So originally, I want to do a IT horror story for a reason. Because it's Halloween and I got this.
Yeah. There's a bird.
Yeah.
You're a bird.
Do you know why the doctors are wearing this particular shape?
Oh no!
I don't know. This is what is this? Is a bird?
No. These are for the doctors.
I know what is this. It's just that I'm ignorant in purpose.
So what really happened is in those days, what people believe is disease are spread by miasma. Okay, with the miasma theory of medicine.
Disease.
So
hey, the irony is people are still believe in miasma these days.
Yes, but so the thing is why it's bird shaped because they can stuff herbs and all that, which they believe can neutralize the smell, the miasma.
It's like some of the extension of our muscle. They can put in stuff to pet.
Correct. For the wrong reason. And it won't work for more any disease actually, but it is what they believe.
It works. It works if they put in things like in between, so they're able to filter like I don't know, sponge or something like that. In a way, it sort of help. Yeah, in terms of that.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, so if they put the right thing, like if there happens to have material that kill the germs and all that, yeah, it might work, right?
But the unfortunate part is that I still, like, from time to time, I still heard people talking about something similar as miasma.
Yeah.
So
it's
still pretty common.
So yeah, I guess they had somewhat. I mean, it's still wrong, but they had somewhat the right idea because diseases can be airborne, which is like miasma, right? But then they have it's in a different direction that what they think about miasma.
Yes. Let me see if there is an IT horror story that we can share. We don't.
So I
I
thought
think
we're
there's.
unboxing your new guitar. No.
Okay, so I bought a gift. Let's do something else. Actually, it's not something. Okay, there's a reason for it actually because everything is so great. Everything is so great. So I bought a guitar. Uh, yeah, this is actually
Can you
the.
play now?
I can't play
That's
now
a
because
lot
I
of
don't know what.
boxes.
Yes, it's a lot of boxes, and for a very good reason because even the small device is this big, right? It's this big. This is actually the end. Then I just finished tuning it just now, I think. Then I had the actual guitar. I don't know how to play this. Don't ask me to play this. I need to learn. I literally need to learn. But there is Fender had an app that helped me tune. Uh, this package that gives me the strap, the amp. There's a bag downstairs. Then there is a few pick, some accessory to maintain the guitar. A guitar need maintenance, believe it or not. So which is why they give it a key and a spring for the tremolo here, for you to replace and all that. So yeah, and why electric guitar? Mostly the reason is because this package is 980 ringgit.
Oh, almost 1,000. Yep. So why? Because it's cheap.
It's cheaper because the other pack, which have the better guitar, is 1,002. It's not that much, but coin toss says get the cheaper one, so I get the
Mhm.
cheaper one.
So why a guitar, not a violin?
I want to be a rock god. I want to
Okay,
play
okay. You
Johnny
can
Be Good. I
you
want to
can
play
do
Johnny
like
Be Good by Chuck
electric
Berry.
violin
You
as
want to
well.
have a rock off when somebody has a dispute.
Yeah, so I can fret, right? I can fret,
Yeah,
and
but I
also
can't share the
Chuck
video.
Berry.
Mm.
Yeah. Then a lot of the geek song is on guitar, not on violin. For example, Code Monkey. Do you know the song Code Monkey?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm a newborn AI.
So yeah, so there's more of the different sort of.
I was inspired last week by Tristan's looping videos, so I decided to create my. I mean, am I the real me or am I the digital me?
Yeah. So what other things? So yeah, this is a guitar. That why quite a few things. It's a very good package in a way that they provide everything for you to use. They don't have pedal, interestingly, which leads me to what you use a pedal for. I'm not remembering. I have no idea. But they do provide the amp, the guitar, the strap, then some spare parts. Of course, the wires and all that are for you to use. It's all-in-one package, ready to use package. It's interesting also because the Fender. So Square is actually a subsidiary of Fender, but it's because they are a company that make cheap guitar, cheap but good guitar. Then Fender bought it. Then Fender actually expand into the guitar education market, and the reason is they want to sell guitars so the teacher is
Yeah,
play.
of course. That's how you sell. Like same as Photoshop, right? They give like free Photoshop. Like they don't charge the pirater so that people get an education in Photoshop, and now you
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people who
But
buy the licenses.
software is very different. They have that, but software is also very different in a few ways. IBM, the rate book is a subscription. Yes,
Mm.
traditionally then is similar to this model. Microsoft MSDM resource is you get it free if you join as a membership, MSDM membership. But once you get it, it's shareable. But later, IBM actually shares the resource for free for open source thing, right?
Mhm.
It's very different for software lah. So yeah, I even get like a 3 month, 3 month, 3 month guitar lesson for free.
Mhm.
So this is not like the great guitar, but this is a guitar for learning. But I'm already 30 plus years old, so chances this is like the guitar that I give my kid anyway.
Mhm.
Also,
It's like a beginner's wand for magicians.
yeah,
In
but
those stories when you're still
yeah,
learning magic, they give you a beginner's wand.
yeah. Also, Nicholas, if you go to the Engineer's Mind Discord channel, we're talking about starting a band. And that's
What
the
band? Rubber band?
to start a musical band somehow.
Mhm.
So, and this is how I suddenly, within 3 days, decided to get myself a guitar. Actually, it's more like I wanted it for a long time. But suddenly, like, yeah, wait, let's start a band. Then, yeah, then one day I decide, and 3 days comes. So a total of 4 days. That decided to have that. Yeah, very random. So yeah, there's a guitar. Also, as it turns out, it used to be like you need a specialized device to tune the guitar. Not anymore, actually. Not anymore.
What do you mean specialized device?
You need a device to actually tune your. You either use your ear or you can use a tuner to
Yeah.
listen and
Mm-hmm.
tune. Right nowadays, you use your phone.
Mm-hmm.
There is third party one. There's third party one. There's third party one, but Fender had their own and it works for everything. So yeah, again, they try to own the ecosystem. But actually,
Oh, you
more
don't need
people try
tuner,
to do
you
that.
have a perfect pitch.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, I just
What?
ignore what I say.
Yeah. So nowadays, yeah, I find it interesting that online resources there and all that. Not necessarily free, but it's there. Yeah. And this will be my distraction while I actually try to finish up the DevKami infrastructure because I don't think good connection. Actually, I know what happened last week. I need to create a new VPC to connect to the internet.
Mm.
Or I need. It's a lot of. It's easy to create it and to set it up because it's a lot of work to wire up the network connection. It's a lot
Yeah,
harder to wire up the network
I'm
connection.
uh, I'm expecting a blog post for that so that we can learn from what you've done.
Yeah,
I mean, a
but
lot of people are also thinking about serverless stuff, right? So
yeah,
it's good to have like an article in DevKami
yeah, 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 I will do
to talk
that.
about it.
Then I also put it on Medium to make some pocket change.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You can put
So
Google
either
Ads
way,
on devkami.com as well if you want.
yeah, yeah, environment. So either way, that would be one of my hobby that again, one of my hobby that doesn't involve computers. So I think that's about it. In fact, one of my plans today was to create a IT horror story. None of us prepared, so let's do it. Harris, you have something interesting to show as well.
Yeah, I got Android running, so let me quickly. How do
You
I?
got Android
I'll share it on
running.
my other screen.
You got Android running on your Windows.
Yeah, so I basically reinstalled Windows because you need to reinstall it for the beta channel. So because I was on the dev channel, and
Uh-huh.
they don't allow downgrading your insider, so
Okay.
you have to reinstall it. So let's
Okay,
see.
okay, okay, okay.
How do I share my screen? Share screen. Don't
Yeah,
show these tips again. Screen one.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Let me allow it.
All right. So let's do that. So now it's starting the Windows subsystem from Android. So Kindle is like their poster app, basically. So
Yeah,
when you uh, install Android, a lot of people have been asking about um, Android, like Kindle, for because the Kindle the app, the website, the web version of Kindle doesn't allow to read your personal uploads, right? Your
right,
documents.
right.
But so it's only the app that can do that. But now, since you actually have an Android app running,
Yeah,
then you have access to that. So you can see, I was changing the what they call this, the size, and it's redrawing. It's not very fast. It's not like when you're resizing a Windows application, right? So it looks like, well, because Android from the beginning it's not like iOS where you had like fixed sizes of the application.
Correct.
So even the iOS application on the M1, for example, you had a small iPad size and a large iPad size, and you can't really
Yeah.
change the window size. But because for Android, you can
Yeah, they
the
have
application
to.
is expected
Yeah,
to
you have to
resize.
because you have to because Android application they have to support multiple screen, so they can't
Yeah,
really
you,
set
you
one
can't
size.
expect like the same sizes for
Correct.
Android. Like your application needs to follow it landscape or
Correct.
portrait or square in this case. Like for example, for the foldable ones, you have square
Yeah.
orientations
Yeah.
now. So yeah, so this one like is like that. I am using the scroll wheel, so it's fine. I'm using
Yeah.
drag uh, and stuff. It's also
Yeah.
fine. So it's
Yeah.
good. Of course, you don't have multi touch because I don't have a multi-touch capable laptop or like a
Mhm.
touchscreen laptop, so I can't test multi-touch. But I don't know if there is. But yeah, so it's there and it seems to be working. I think App Store. Let me see.
The only app store you can
Amazon
get
App
is the
Store.
Amazon App Store, which means you have to
Correct.
set your region to the US and all that,
I
which
am
is
set
less of
to
a
the
problem.
US. I've always
Less of a
set
problem.
mine to the US.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
even though
easier.
yeah, so I'm officially on the US region, but the shipping address is to Malaysia somehow.
Mhm.
I do
Yeah.
not
So
know how it works. Yeah.
these are all of the apps that are available. There are no other apps except the ones here on the App Store.
Yeah.
Probably because they're still testing which apps actually run well. Because
Yeah.
it would be a fail, right? If you launch something and then the apps don't actually run. But
Correct.
apparently you can sideload it. I'm not that into it. I'm not distracted that much yet to actually figure out how to sideload particular applications like APKs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is how the App Store. This is an Android app. So this
Yeah.
is the apps on Amazon App Store. But yeah, you can start installing things. There,
So do you? Uh
the
huh.
only app that's actually interesting for me right now is Kindle. So that's the thing.
Yeah. They don't start doing. Oh, why they start doing on EVs? What the hell?
There's a lot of games, but I don't
Yeah.
really play these games.
Uh, so the question is, have you tried? Do you know how this will work with the Android development environment?
No, I haven't tried up until there. Most likely they probably for Android you probably won't have the what do you call this, the hot module reload thing,
Yeah.
because it's just different. It's not this one is most likely for running compiled applications,
Yeah.
uh, but because the emulators, for example, they have other APIs that allow you to, for example, control cameras and or spoof
Mhm.
GPS and all of these things. So I don't think it's this robust yet. But
Yeah.
so for development, most likely it's still best to use an Android emulator.
Okay. So I find it interesting. No, I find it makes sense, but I find it interesting that they partner with Amazon. But Amazon wants to be the alternative app store than Google. Android allows that. So instead of Windows creating yet another app store, so that they've decided that just use
Yeah,
Amazon.
because
I think
as
it's
an app store,
interesting.
you have certain guarantees to your end user, right? Like you guarantee that
Correct.
this is not spam. You have your quality sort of guarantee with your reviews, etc. You know what how the Microsoft App Store is. Like random people have been submitting things, lots of
Correct.
spam there, lots of like uh, Photoshop. It says Photoshop. It's actually like just a Photoshop guide how to
Yeah,
use
yeah, yeah,
Photoshop.
yeah.
So and then it's like it's cheaper than Photoshop and people get scammed into it. So all of these things, but at least for I feel that this one is going to be um, like more curated because they have to be
Mhm.
testing it
Yeah.
until it blows up. And most likely, what would happen is eventually Microsoft will um, what's that Battlestar Galactica thing? Like I
Cylon.
forgot. Assimilate.
Halo.
Or
Was it
assimilate
Star
the
Trek? Was it
platform.
Star Trek or I forgot the
Yeah,
name.
you're talking
So
about
Microsoft will,
Ball.
yeah, the board. Oh
What?
yeah, so it's the Star Trek then.
assimilate the
Star Wars.
ecosystem.
Sorry, Star Wars. The Borg is Star Wars. Yeah,
The Borg is Star Trek.
Star Trek. Borg is
And
Star Trek.
Star Wars, Star Wars.
Captain Picard.
And then
Star Trek. Oh,
Fine. I
Tristan
don't
is
care
trolling
anymore.
us.
yeah, and then Microsoft will just assimilate the App Store eventually. Like I feel that's where it's headed anyway. So
Yeah, I don't know.
but then again, at this point, Amazon is getting the fees, of course, like
Yeah,
because
correct.
they're the only app store that's available, right? So this is
Yeah.
like prepayment, and it's up to them to like transform that into an advantage later on the line when Microsoft assimilates the App Store.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's again for now. All I'm doing is reading books on Kindle.
Yep.
Eventually, I am going to be sideloading some games. Maybe there really isn't any other Android app that I'm looking to use that's not available as a Windows application or a web application,
I think
except for of course the
okay,
games.
yeah, actually.
Yeah, what would you look for? Like what would you want to be
You want
running?
stupid answer or you want serious answer?
Well, both. I mean, what is it? Because I'm interested as well.
If
Maybe
I-
I just don't know what I'm trying to.
Well, if I'm going to put Tinder on it just because.
I don't know about the location stuff here though,
Yeah,
so I don't know how
that's fine.
location works on
I think
on this.
I'm not sure if Amazon App Store doesn't require, probably because it doesn't require the Google services.
Correct. That's
No,
the
but-
point
but-
of using Amazon actually.
It requires a location for the. I don't know. I
But
It's
probably it
been
doesn't
like 5
isn't
years, I
using
think,
the
since I
G.
used it.
I'm not sure if you need you can. I mean, if you publish it, does it require
have no
GME
idea.
something like that? Yeah, probably because of that reason alone.
Correct. And also originally I would actually thought Instagram, but Instagram recently had allowed desktop upload. But if you really know about it, the desktop, the browser version of Instagram doesn't allow you to upload to story. Whereas the Android version allows. So that's one very annual reason for you to get for you to use Android application. What else? It'll be also interesting because it's will be also another interesting thing because on iOS, everybody decided that we're going to consolidate the ecosystem. This one is a bit more like Chimera in a way that Amazon are incorporating different platform into their thing, right? Then somehow make it work. So that is actually interesting to me. Actually, I do have one. My blood. Okay, if Windows subsystem WSA works on Bluetooth, one
No,
thing
not yet.
interesting-
But that would be interesting. Yeah.
because my blood sugar detector can use that so that I can see on the just because.
Yeah.
Right, just because.
Stardew Valley apparently runs on Android, so
Yeah, it also runs on desktop, so it's not worth it actually, to be honest. There's not much. There's not a lot of things that I require on Android. A lot of these are more like it's more convenient to have an app on your phone than open your browser on the phone. That's about it. On the desktop, everything's easy, so there's no good reason actually.
Well,
Okay.
if you have a laptop though, because I'm on a desktop, but probably on a laptop on the move, then you don't have to like take out your phone, or if you want more space, for example, for like for an application.
Also, I already on the Android phone. I'm already on the Android phone, and Windows already have the Windows. It's called Connect to PC, I think. Or connect
Your
to
phone, it's your phone.
Connect to your phone.
So I have it running as well. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can.
I don't use the app that much, but everything else is integrated really well. If I do require app to be shown on the screen, I can do it already, right? I can already because I have the phone. it doesn't work too well on mobile, I believe, but I need to double check.
Your phone, I think well, you don't have to do anything on your phone. So this is
Yeah,
like if you have a notification, it shows up here. You can get
correct,
calls
yeah, yeah,
on your
yeah.
computer. Yeah, so messages are here, like OTPs,
Yes.
etc. So
And you can
it's
share photos. So this
yeah.
is one thing that Linux cannot do on, but Windows can. But it's a cool integration. So sometimes I want to sync photos, I can just bring it over. I can just bring it over and all that. Useful for screenshot actually. So yeah, but I don't have the Android software that I must use, that I need a Android emulator to use it, right?
Mhm.
Google Map, Google Map, like you have a browser for that. Yeah, right. So yeah, that's my little complaint. It's interesting concept. I want to see more, and there'll be more. Uh, but I worry there's two worry. One, Android app don't have a single thing that you must have to use, and there's a second one. This look more like a side thing in a way that they do Android, but they do not have official sanction in a way from
So they
What
don't
do you
have
Google.
mean by
Google
official
mobile.
sanctions?
They don't have
Uh,
Google mobile services, but that does not necessarily define Android.
Yeah, you cannot
yeah,
say that
they,
it's
they
not
run the open
sanctions.
source thing. They can run the open source thing where you don't get Google App Store, you don't get the Google
Yeah.
services. And this actually maybe depends on how far they want to go. This may be a problem. That being said, Amazon
Well,
run the product a long time without Google
I like
anything.
to see it because it breaks away even though Android is primarily from Google, it breaks away the heavy
Yeah.
dependency on requiring
So
GME to work.
the Huawei mobile services apparently
Mhm.
are a very good replacement for GMS. Like they
Yeah.
even keep the same APIs. So it's very
Yeah.
easy for developers to port over. So for example, GMS is like all of these push notifications, for example, or
Correct.
um,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
like detecting location from cellular or whatever,
Yeah.
and like a GPS. So Huawei mobile services give the same thing. Of course, it's connected to Huawei instead of Google,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
uh, at least that's what I've discovered with my Huawei MatePad.
Mm.
So uh, if people and I'm guessing if Huawei can do it, there should be a lot of other. So they paved the way, and there would be other services that would allow these kinds of mobile service, like take over your push notifications, for example.
It's
So
about,
in
yeah,
that
a lot of
sense,
mid incentive.
yeah, in that sense, something like Lineage OS, you don't have to sideload Google Apps anymore. You can
Yeah.
just get Lineage OS purely open source, and then delegate these mobile services to whatever mobile service company you'd like to either trust or you want to pay for or something,
Correct.
like depending on
So
their promises. So it's like there's more competition instead of having Google just or only Google or only Huawei having your
yeah.
business.
Correct. Uh, so whatever happens will be very interesting to see. I want to see more of this. Based on I can't use it now because I'm too lazy to set up my routine and all that. Because I have my Stellaris running already, I don't want to set my routine.
Mm. Yeah, so if you're on, I don't know which insider channel you're on.
I need to find out. I think it's Dev channel because it's something that I have
If
to
you're on Dev,
set up.
then you can't run. I'm not sure why they're doing it, but Dev does not have the Android one, but you can install Android. It's just not the easy way of like
Mm-hmm.
putting it in the App Store. So you
Yeah.
can sideload Android there. But if you want to switch to the beta channel, then you'll have to reinstall Windows. But I wanted to switch anyway because for the Dev channel is too unstable for me. Like
Yeah,
some
yeah, it's
applications
true.
just crash a lot. So
It's true.
beta Firefox crashes a lot as well, but it's not as bad because it just brings up everything again after you run it again. So I only tried it for the Android, but for anyone else who's listening, yeah, beta channel is beta. Like don't
Yeah.
expect your system to be stable,
Yeah,
and which is
every
why
beta is.
my yeah, beta is beta. So don't expect stability from beta software, and that's
Yeah.
why
And
my
then, uh-huh.
my work stuff is on a Lenovo like small 1 liter Lenovo server that I SSH into using VS Code Remote. So all of them is
Yeah.
there. So my work stuff is unstable and like it's just separate from this machine which I use for like typing. So it's a dumb terminal, but also for running all of these experiments.
Yeah. Don't do it like me. Don't go to like that insider. Things look great. And
Yeah.
not just your app, it will be your heart if you didn't save your stuff.
Exactly. If you're not used to the reinstall every few weeks routine, then it's not for you.
Correct.
For
So
I
yeah,
reinstall my operating systems like once every like couple of months, and sometimes even once many times in a month, depending on like if
interesting.
there are new releases. Yep.
I don't do it. I don't do it as much though. Very interestingly, I might go to the building page.
But like
Interestingly,
for example, 20 like Ubuntu 22.10 just went
mhm,
out, and so usually for Linux systems you just want to reinstall just so that you can get the fresh, um, like the wallpapers, for example, or all of the new settings that
yeah,
they tried. Because if you keep your home directory, then like all of your settings are still the same. It looks exactly like before, so you don't feel like you upgraded. Except like for example,
yeah,
GNOME having new borders or something like that. But so that's why I usually would reinstall every Ubuntu release. But then again, because I don't keep a lot of uh, permanent data inside
mhm,
the computer. So it's really easy to. So I've made it so it's very easy to reinstall operating
yeah,
systems. Like the backups are always on a separate drive, and then it's
mhm,
always easy to just like move things around. So documents are separated. It's really just
yeah,
the applications, which is
mhm,
also good because sometimes if I don't use an application that much, then I just don't install it or I forget to install
yeah,
it,
correct.
which saves up on space as well.
Because yeah, for me, my serious stuff is on GitHub anyway. So in a way, I don't have a lot of. Well, I commit often. I commit and push very often. So that's my thing. So it's a bit heavy. All right, I think that's about all the interesting thing that's happened. That's my distraction. Oh yeah, do you receive the message, Tristan,
No,
about
what about it?
setting up an address for Bangalore? Yes,
Ah, yes, I did.
I think they're going to deliver soon. I think they're going to deliver soon.
Yeah, they're shipping soon.
Yeah,
They already have the thing. Again, I already have the pre-production unit,
yeah.
but it's not like how they say it. It's not that bad when they
Mhm.
shipped it because that was post laju. But I think this one is DHL, so I have more confidence that I'm actually going to
Mhm.
receive it. Because last time I had to like pick it up from the post office.
Right. Okay. With that said, I think that's about it. Next week, do you want to do it? I think next week, Thursday is Deepavali, right?
Yeah. So are we
Does that affect
skipping?
me?
Yeah, most likely I'm also still working anyway.
No, Deepavali. Yeah, I know. It's oh really? It's October. Oh, they do it on the weekend. Malaysia is different. What the hell? Why you give me the
Mm.
Australia one? It's 4th November. The reason the Australia one is because they're the minority, so they just do it on the weekend, versus weekend. It's actually on Thursday next week. Do you want to review it, or do you want to do the Deepavali edition, or want to take a break? We decide later.
Okay.
We decide later.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, but that so for those that celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween. I mean, I know I do because my company do it as a party. So, but more importantly, for whoever that actually celebrate Deepavali, have a good Deepavali next week. And yeah, wish you guys a good health and all that. And finally, it's a Thursday. Don't forget to take your Friday off.
When
What?
is this again? Because
Deepavali
Friday
is
off.
on a
I
Thursday.
oh
Deepavali is a Thursday. It's a public Malaysian public holiday.
Unfortunately, I have
And
deployment next week, so it's not gonna be
yeah,
off for me.
yeah,
yeah, I'm probably just going to like accumulate leaves.
Yeah.
I can't
I mean, I
accumulate
think
really,
if
but so
I
I can't make use of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Guess
I
what
have
as well?
planned. I'm going to pretend to be a rock star.
I'm technically under quarantine.
Yeah, because yeah, your office had it right. Yes. And last thing, watch Dune. Dune is awesome. Something is missing, but it's 90% good. It's 85% good. Watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's about it. Anything else you want to add? If not, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to leave early because
No.
I did
Well,
have a.
Sumi wants to play with his new toy.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
We're
I just
wasting
want to
his
be a rock
time.
star.
We're
Mm-hmm.
wasting his time.
Actually, I need to pack up my box first. Actually, I need to pack up my boxes. I have too many boxes. Then I will play with the toy. So with that said, thanks for indulging us. Okay.
Okay. Okay, have
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye. See you again next
Um,
week.
Don't
yes.
don't disturb swimming.
Yes. I'm going to start up there.